Hi guys, welcome back to Backyard Aviary Adventures. There it is. We're going back and back some more to Spurn. We're doing a round 3. We didn't really plan it that way, but we have a look on our birding app.
There's loads of things
there's
there.
Loads there. We could possibly even get as many as 4 lifers, even 5 lifers for you. So back to Spurn, number 3 it is. As it's getting colder, we've made a few bed modifications. That should be a bit warmer.
Could be up in the gods.
Good morning folks, it's a beautiful morning here in KILSNEA near Spurn. We've had a remarkably comfortable night in our massive pile of mattresses and bedding. We've woken up and it's a stunning morning, really nice, a little bit windy, you might be able to hear that, but the sea's nowhere near as choppy. We were the only car here overnight, which was unusual, we didn't expect that, but especially with the amount of birds that are potentially going to be here. So should be a good day. We're going to get breakfast and get started. Our first challenge was to try and find a yellow-browed warbler. After a couple of hours of waiting in the churchyard and going into the church field near it, we couldn't find one. There were plenty of other bird watchers. Some had seen it, some hadn't, some had heard one, some hadn't. So we decided to reconvene that hunt later and go and look for something else. Been to see, or try and see, yellow-browed warbler this morning. They are about, but they're a nightmare to get your eyes on, so I couldn't confirm that we've seen one yet. We are going to go back and attempt again, but now we're going to go and have a look for a reported barred warbler at KILSNEA wetlands. Also, it looks like there might have been a little stint there as well, so might get a double whammy there. When we got to KILSNEA wetlands, we had a quick look through the hide at the waders and then headed up towards the World War I sound mirror to go and try and find the barred warbler that had been seen there. There were lots of other birders and a few other birds like this nice reed bunting. The other bird watchers there said they had seen the barred warbler, but it had been very elusive, in and out of bushes. Before long it flew out of the bush and stayed out briefly enough for me to get this little bit of footage and photograph. There's a lifer. After that very happy sighting, we headed back down towards the hide to see if we could get the little stint. This was a bird KAYLEIGH was looking for, and as a lifer for her. Very luckily, one landed in front of us for just a few seconds, but enough for me to get this great footage. What a bird. Success with the barred warbler. We had, although waiting for a while, we had okay views of it. So that's another lifer. And something for KAYLEIGH that she was looking for.
Little stint.
We got a little stint as well, which is great because last time we got Temmink stint, so that's super. Onwards and upwards. At that point, we headed back to the Spurn Discovery Centre for a cup of tea, and were greeted en route with some lovely deer. After tea and a snack, we headed to the canal scrape to see a reported jack snipe, which was also a lifer for KAYLEIGH. This bird was hidden behind a load of reeds asleep, accompanied by a couple of common snipe. We didn't get great footage, but we saw it. Hi folks, we've had a cup of tea, been to see a jack snipe, which was asleep. But it's cool to see, it's a lifer for KAYLEIGH. Woo! Someone has mentioned online about the Lapland bunting and the snow bunting halfway up Spurn Point. I hope you can hear me because of the wind. So we're going looking for that and I hope we can find it. Join us. It was incredibly windy on the beach. Unfortunately, we didn't see the Lapland bunting, but we did see this lovely snow bunting. So we went for the Lapland bunting. Unfortunately, we didn't see it. It was extremely breezy on the beach, sand everywhere. We did see a lovely snow bunting that was very confiding. So now we're having a break and eating carpaccio.
As you do.
Posh picnics. So afterwards, I don't know what we're doing. I suppose we're gonna go and have another look for the yellow-browed warbler properly, and hope something else turns up. I'm really hoping for a wryneck, but none have been seen today already. So fingers crossed for that. Catch you later. The search for the yellow-browed warbler continued. We spent some more time in the churchyard. We heard a few but didn't see any, so we carried on up the lane. We looked over a fence where bushes backed onto the churchyard. We saw gold crests but no confirmed yellow-browed warblers. After a few hours, I bumped into a man coming out of a gate. He said the yellow-browed warblers had been seen just past the gate in a willow tree, so I stood and waited. Hi folks, we're at the spot. We've been looking for the yellow-browed warbler, or one of the spots. There's been a few. These birds have been very elusive. This spot I've managed to see it a few times, but it's been in and out of a willow tree, right deep in the vegetation, so it's been a very difficult bird to photograph, let alone do a video of. I've got a very rough record shot which shows it's definitely a yellow-browed warbler, which is cool because that's a lifer. But now I think it's time for dinner, so I think it's going to be the Crown and Anchor for a dinner and a pint. After a lovely meal at the Crown and Anchor, we settled down for the night. In the morning, I woke up early, around 7 o'clock, and headed to where I'd seen the yellow-browed warbler the morning before, seeing a few other birds on the way, including a few house sparrows and magpies and such. My plan was to try and get a slightly better photo of the yellow-browed warbler. After about 2 hours of waiting, I finally got this okay shot, but I think it was the best we were going to get. Hi folks, finally managed to get a kind of passable ID shot of the yellow-browed warbler. It took me bloody ages, but I've got there in the end. So went to the canal scrape to see if the jack snipe was there, but it wasn't much there actually. So I decided to give up on this and headed back to KILSNEA wetlands to see if we could get another view of the barred warbler before we went home. And this time I got a little better footage. I turned up and it was sat out in the open at the bottom of a bush. It seemed to be having a nap in the sun. But now it was time to head back. We'd had a great weekend, not as many lifers as we would have liked, but I got 2 and KAYLEIGH got 4, so we can't complain. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and please subscribe. See you soon.